Hi, it's Andy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Welcome to the A.D.K channel, and today with us we have Alun from Before the Sirens. Welcome to the channel.
Thank you for having me.
Hello.
Hi.
Today's video. Now, this is a video that I don't know how many of us will have seen this, but I'm pretty certain at least 3 of us will. Sorry, Andy, I don't think you have.
The MTV2 era, basically, you're saying.
Andy never watched television.
I was too poor to have cable TV, so I'm well out of this.
Yeah, well, let's see what you think of this next track. Let's go check it out.
For the ways that I will never ever choose to be. Oh, so many ways for me to show you how your Savior has abandoned you. You're Lord, you're Christ. Even that you had him. Still you pray, never stray, never thought to question why. It's not like you killed someone. It's not like you drove a hateful spirit to his side. Praise the one who left you broken down and paralyzed. He did it all for you.
Okay, well, I know Kirk knew that song. Alun, did you know that song?
Yes, sir.
You did. So, Andy, did you know that song?
Not a king clue.
He's married and raising children at this time.
That is true. That is true. So we're gonna let you go first, Andy, because we knew the song. So, but the band is A Perfect Circle, and the song was called Judith. So over to you.
Again, another band name I have heard of, but haven't listened to. Don't know anything about them. Again, I can't even put that in a genre. They might be sort of quite sort of specialist and individual in their style. I don't know. I'm sure one of you guys will fill me in on that. Again, like a lot we've seen this evening, it's another really well shot and put together sort of performance video. I really like the sort of grainy effects and the sort of the film reel sort of effects they've got on there. Was that a woman singing the lead vocals?
Maynard James Keenan from Tool.
So no,
wearing a wig, by the way.
No, it wasn't. No, it was a bloke.
Yeah.
Oh right. Oh, it sounded feminine, and which is no problem. It sounded good, but then I thought looking at the the sort of close-up shots, I didn't think it was, but it did sound like a sort of female voice. But it contrasted well with the guitarist. I like his vocals. Again, what is it? Hard rock? I don't know. It's not something that really sits well with me, to be honest. I can't really be too much more positive than that. I mean, apart from the look of the video, which was really good. Put that on a death metal track, I've been all over it. But it's not my bag, unfortunately.
Not your bag.
Not my bag.
Right over to Kirk next.
I remember when this came out, year 2000, right? And I'm a big fan of Tool. And I remember buying Onoma, the 1996 time. I bought it a couple of years later in 1998 from Bolton, Virgin Music Store. And at the time, nu metal is starting to dominate. I'm at sixth form college. Anyone who listens to heavy music, they're just listening to Korn and Limp Bizkit and Cold Chamber. And I know that the band that has influenced a lot of these is Tool. And then I find out that Maynard is in a side project, which is completely anathema at the time. Other than Mike Patton, who was in Faith No More and Mr. Bungle, you did not have rock stars who were in more than one band. I know everyone does that now. So I remember thinking, what a distraction this is from this Tool album that's due to come out. And they haven't released anything since 1996. And then Billy Howardell, the guitarist, is the guitar tech for the Smashing Pumpkins, who are my favorite band at that time. I'm thinking, why are you doing this? And it sounds like Tool, the vocal phrasing. So I was really annoyed when this came out. And I remember my friends all buying it. And they actually became a successful band in their own right, didn't they? And I was like, do you not realize this is Maynard from Tool? This is going to steal the thunder from when they finally released Lateralis, which comes out in 2001. What a song. Alun, you pick up for me on that. Listen to that high register melody in the chorus. That is your arms to the sky moment where you let the music do the talking. And then the way the vocals follow that, incredible.
Absolutely.
So if I could write music and write music that had, let's be honest, a pop structure, there's a chorus, and then there's a pre-chorus for that melody. My God, that is the standard I'd be aiming for. Andy, I would put this in rock. It's not metal, is it? I know you've got a really dirty bass.
No.
And there are elements of like pseudo screaming type vocals. We are talking about one of the most iconic and influential vocalists of all time, Maynard James Keenan. And the fact that he came in at the last minute is like, go on, I'll do vocals. Really annoyed me, but I've got to say this has stood the test of time. And they've since become a super group, haven't they? You've had Ramirez from Marilyn Manson, Jamesy Hart from the Smashing Pumpkins. Is it Josh Freese, the drummer who was in Guns N' Roses? They've all appeared in this band at some point. But I'm going to stop here now. I'm too excited. Dave, who do you want to go to next?
I'm going to
Alan about 3 minutes ago.
I know. When you actually say I'm going to pass it to Alan, you have to actually stop talking, Kirk. Let him speak.
And in the baton.
No, it's absolutely fine, man. I don't mind that at all. So, for me, 14-year-old Alan came across this song as part of the Murder Norm album, as you say, Kirk, in 2001. At a point where, as I've mentioned previously, we were kind of finding our feet as to where we wanted to go musically. The thing I find really interesting on this particular album and this track as part of it is Judith is I don't know if you know this. Judith was Rob Halford told them to release this as their lead single. because of how like powerful, because it's written about an illness his mum was going through at the time. So that's what the song. So they wanted to release something powerful, but they have another song on there. Track 1 on that album is called "The Hollow," which is of a similar sort of vein. It's quite rocky. It's got quite a bit of groove. But as you say, like Maynard's vocals are just exceptional across that whole album. But they're one of the things that I'm not really talking about this song anymore, and I will come back to it, I promise. But there's a song on that album called "3 Libras," which is probably one of the prettiest songs I think I've ever heard in my life. And I don't usually class music as pretty, but it's a really special album. It was something that I went backwards from where you were, Kirk. I then went, oh, well, where's he been before, and found Tool and Schism and all that sort of stuff. And there was a really, is it The Pot? Is that one of their songs?
Yeah,
right?
That's on 10,000 Years, isn't it?
Yeah. That was like the Tool song that was my entry point from that album. So yeah, A Perfect Circle. I've kind of lost them since. I know they released one recently, something about an elephant, and I didn't really get into that. But this album in particular was one again that was on heavy rotation when I was a teenager, and I love it. And it was again a bit of a throwback for me listening to that.
Okay, so just to wrap it up, I'm not a Tool fan, never liked Tool, didn't get into it.
How dare you?
Just listen to it and I'm like, nah, not into it. Nothing. I've listened to many Tool songs and none of them have resonated with me in the slightest. But I like A Perfect Circle, so I do like that particular band. I liked it when it came out, when Judith came out. I like it more now because I can appreciate what it is. I think because when it first came out, we were all just more impressed about the fact that she puts her hair into a bob in that break.
Yes!
And gets back on the bass in the same time.
I like that bit, yeah.
Yeah, I was up for that as well. Yeah,
that was awesome.
I agree. Sorry.
That was the thing we talked about back in 2000. We're like, oh my God, you see it? She did this whole thing. She tied her hair up, she put it in and got back on it in the break. It was amazing. We've got to try that on stage. That'd be great. That was our whole thing at the time. But what I kind of get from the song now is there is elements of, it's like The Cure and 9 Inch Nails had a baby.
Yeah, good description.
That's what it kind of vibes for me. It's got that kind of very dramatic tone, but there's elements of 9 Inch Nails programming style of drum tracking, and it's very cool. And for me, the bass just carries that song as the main instrumentation. It's got such a cool bass line. If you took that bass line out and just played a straight bass line with just with just a fat standard strumming thing, it just would ruin the track. But you could probably get away with other parts of it, but that bass line just holds everything together. So I really like the track. I don't know why all the videos today are in the early 2000s. I have no idea. They just kind of came.
Are you intentionally dropping into my teenage years and taking me back to spotty teenager at the turn of the century?
It's all for you, Alan. It's all for you, mate.
Thanks, man. All over it.
There we go. Well, that is Judith from A Perfect Circle. Now, if you like the video, please do like, share, and subscribe. Check out Before the Sirens, and we'll see you on the video sometime very soon. Take care.